right, so welcome everyone to session 2 of gaming cohort, building gamified systems for businesses. It's so exciting to see how far we have actually come. It's very exciting that we're exploring gaming together. And tonight's session is more of very exciting. So we are transitioning from just fundamentals to our building our first contract. So yes, house rules. Before we begin, if you can, please turn on your camera because we would love to see you and we would love to celebrate you. And then, of course, when you're not speaking, please mute because we would not like to disrupt the session as we're getting started. And then, of course, I would love for you to drop your name in the chat and tell us where you're joining us from. We would love to put a name to face at least, and be able to see who is who and where are you joining from, and about as you're joining these sessions and this cohort. And of course, ask questions freely because there's no dumb questions here. And then of course, be present. We encourage you to close your tabs. So many tabs open, maybe you might not need all these tabs open for tonight. So feel free to close some tabs and just be present and stay with us and just hopefully you will find these sessions very impactful and very enjoyable. And of course, we are picking up right where we left off from session 1. All right. So in case you missed session 1, we hope that you're going to actually catch up because we have a recording on our YouTube. Go there, check on the recordings, different sessions happening since session 1, cohort 1 of building payment solutions, and now we're exploring building gamified solutions. So yeah, I think it will be really, really helpful to you. And of course, tonight we have player declarations, and so we want you to say it to us. So I will pause here for a minute just to see where everyone is. Oh, we have so many people waiting to be admitted. All right. Cool. Okay, just one more minute. Great. So yes, we have our player declarations, and if you can, please unmute and say this with us. Okay, so we have these declarations that we say all the time that whenever we host our events. So it's just to remind you of who you are and who you think you are. So this time around, we are trying to ensure that we speak to the gamers in the room. Okay, so just calm down, settle down, breathe in and out. Breathe in 3 times, in and out, controlled breathing as you just settling in the session. Yeah. Okay, I hope that we are all now calm down and settle down and just ready to be present in this session. So we will say our player declarations, and we'll start now. I respond tonight fully focused, no lag, no distractions. I'm not late to the lobby. I log in exactly on time. I ask questions boldly. My voice is player input. not background noise. I'm grinding real XPs on Avalanche, building main quests and not side missions. I'm in a guild that levels up together, not a solo queue. Tonight, I unlock a new skill tree, my first smart contract. So if you said all these player declarations, congratulations to you because you have just achieved and unlocked a builder tier, right? So congratulate yourself, clap for yourselves because you just did it, believed in yourselves, right? Okay, so let's just take 1 minute to have like water break as I get into the next session where we will now introduce our next agenda of what to expect tonight. Okay. All right. So I think you can proceed now. So just 1 moment. Yes. So where did we leave off? So we left off at building Avalanche, building on Avalanche, but gamified solutions. And we introduced a serious game design lens where we will use throughout the cohort and get feedback. And of course, we'll start to explore quests and more ways for you to engage. So session 2 agenda, which is tonight's agenda. So you're going to learn gamification fundamentals, smart contract architecture and anatomy, understanding the P chain, the X chain, and the C chain. This is the architectural design as well. Introduction to Avalanche Layer 1s, creating an Avalanche wallet, claiming testnet, AVAX from Builders Hub, and building a simple loyalty smart contract. So you'll understand gamification fundamentals deeply, what makes a system feel like a game, not just a user interface with points bolted on. So understand choice, feedback, pacing, practice, enjoyment, readiness, and every framework that makes it a serious game design. So you will also understand smart contract and architecture and anatomy. This is largely going to be facilitated by our technical team, and of course, the architectural design as well. So introduction to Avalanche Layer 1. So if you're looking to build gamified system, are you looking to deploy it as layer 1, or are you looking to first build it as well, whatever it is, if it's just mobile based type of application. course, creating your Avalanche wallets. This is going to be very, very important and very exciting, and claiming your testnet AVAX. So these are some of the amazing things that you're going to learn tonight with the help of our tutors, Joseph and Silas. And I will just dive deep into the one offering. So what are you expected? What are you expecting basically? So these are some of the level up rewards that we have. So we have a surprise bounty that you're going to be announcing towards the end of this session. We also have mini grants by Team One. So up to $10,000 is being awarded right now to founders that are building solutions that are looking to go to market. And they have the accelerator program that is now deeper capital support for teams that are ready to scale even beyond the mini grant. And we have founder spotlights where we're spotlighting founders in the ecosystem, in the community, especially by spotlighting what your builds are and how you're gaining traction and giving you that distribution within the community. So tonight, this is going to be what you're going to expect, and I'm happy to connect with you. Feel free to scan the QR code and connect with me. And throughout the session, we will be having some engagement activities. We encourage you to, take some content as well, post on Twitter, tag us, tag Team One Africa, tag me. My personal username is at @LavenderEsther1 on Twitter. Tag me and tag also our amazing tutors. I'm sure they're going to be introducing themselves, and we'll be happy to repost. We'll be happy to amplify. We'll be happy to learn together and just support you basically. And this actually really goes a long way, and we are super, super excited to have you join this cohort. So without taking so much time, let me take this moment to welcome Joseph. Joseph, are you on the call? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Amazing. But before Joseph goes on, I want to do a simple I want to just quickly check on something. So I just noticed that we have various people, various builders from different backgrounds joining us. And before we go any further, it will be really awesome to know who is actually who and how far you are in terms of your build journey and how can we be able to support. So just 1 minute. So if you are actually new here and this is your first time to Team One and you're just learning about Team One, give us an A in the chat. It will be lovely to know what level you are in. And if you are a gamer, an experienced gamer, just give us a B. And if you are totally good at game building and building games and game development, whatever it is, could you give us a C in the chat? Just those 3 options. If you're very new, give us an A. If you have some experience and you're looking to, just upskill yourself as well, I think that also applies. Give us a B. And if you are the go-to pro game developer, you understand gaming mechanics, game producing and stuff, give us a C. Would love to see where most of you are actually. So I see Vincent. Vincent, you are new. So welcome to Team One. We hope that you will have a good time here. And I see Regina. Regina, you have experience. That is really good to know. We love to see how much experience we will also gain from this cohort. And also I see Kevin Tambo, you are new here, so welcome to Team One, and we hope that you're actually gonna, learn more in this cohort. Also, we see Mukami is new, Dennis as well. Oh, we have some pretty new members. This is good. We also have Collins. Collins, George, Sharon understands Web3. You are just here to level up and learn more about game development. That's good. I see You are new here, so welcome. Victor, you also here to level up. We hope that you do. Regina, Favor, King, you are new. So many new members. Amazing. So more are learning about gaming and gamified solutions for the first time, which is impressive. So we hope that these sessions are going to be to you. All right. So without taking so much of your time, Joseph, take it up and just run it.
Okay. Thank you, Lavanda, for the good introduction. At least right now, I know the audience and how to go forward with. Okay, just give me a second. Can you confirm that you can see my screen? Can I see some reactions? Nice, 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 nice. Okay. Karibu everyone. Welcome to this session too. Um, the night whereby we start now to actually shape something that is real now. So, housekeeping, this session is actually being recorded. So, if maybe you fall behind tonight and you want to replay, you want to go back and view what we said, uh, don't worry, you're going to get all these recordings. The link, it's all available on Notion. I think the link will be shared in the channels. Yeah. So let's start here. I am Joseph Mwange. I am the technical lead of the technical portfolio team one. Um, I've been a developer for years. I'm a two times founder. I have founded a company called Mental Sync. It's basically we are providing holistic wellness. We are merging blockchain technology with therapy session and physiotherapy. And the other one is a tech company called Elom Labs. You guys should check it out. So I've been building on Avalanche for the last 2 years plus, actually. And so believe me, and also building gamified solutions, especially Mental Sync. Mental Sync is actually a gamified solution that's already on market and it's working and generating funds. So let me let's start. Let's start with a recap. Yeah. Where were we last week Thursday? Basically, we just covered the thesis of gamification, the behavioral design, whereby we talked about Routledge book, what she was talking about, her design and all that. And we also talked about our design law, how the Helen's work, uh, which is objective first notion, decides the behavior of how you want to change before you pick any mechanic. And on the practical items, we went to the builders hub, the places where I told you guys you can get all this information. So on tonight's agenda, our path for tonight is very, very simple. As you notice, it's like a staircase whereby uh, for each step it needs the step before the step that was before it. So kindly stick with us. Make sure you don't miss any sessions. And yeah, so the map. What Avalanche actually is. That is the very first thing we're going to check in. So what is Avalanche in plain language? Since I know most of you are new, and then we set up our machine, then we set up then your wallet. Okay, is someone talking? Okay, let me just mute you if we resume. Okay, so where was I? So then after setting up your machine, we set up your wallet, and then your identity on blockchain. That's basically your your blockchain identity, and then we test now the network with pre-test funding. We usually call them testnets. Then after now that, we now dive into reading a smart contract and actually writing one together, line by one. And now that session is going to be guided by Silas, one of our technical leads also here. So yeah, so don't worry about it. And then after that, at the end you're going to have the quest now. So stay put, and yeah, listen keenly because the quests are going to come from the sessions and from what we are literally presenting. And tonight's mission. So three things you have to live with tonight. Number one, that's a working development environment on your machine, a fully funded wallet on the test network, and a loyalty point solidity contract, which is live, verified, and on chain, which this is going to be your first deployed program. And if you get any of the two tonight and finish the third, maybe using the recording during this weekend, that's still a win, guys. So yeah, let's go. But let's start with something very simple. Every someone to sound. I'm a build. Okay. Dennis Miner, builder, but never done games before, just businesses. Okay. If you have any questions, we have some of our technical leads also here in the charts. They're going to be helping me answer those questions in case I missed them. So feel free to ask to share the questions there. We have Silas, we have Ian, we have, yeah, we also have Yusuf. So don't worry, guys. The team is here for you. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So yeah, just go ahead. Allow me to resume. Every loyalty program on Avalanche, it actually starts here. This is where they all start. One wallet, one contract, one deployment. And perfect example, there's this mobile game actually built on Avalanche called Maple Story. So Maple Story, the economy funny fact,
Joseph, I think you're muted. I think.
Oh, sorry. How long was I muted?
You had just began to talk about the Maple game.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So where was I? Let me just start again from here. So from what I was saying, every loyalty program on Avalanche, this is actually where they actually started. They started from a one wallet, one contract, one deployment. And I was giving like sample examples of this. And I was stating number one was Maple Story, which is a mobile game with over 250 million players on chain right now. It actually started with one deployment. Let's go to my company, Mental Sync. The Mental Sync XP, the XP system, it started with actually one deployment, you see, which I first deployed was a loyalty point system, the same solidity contract that you guys are going to write today, but from a simpler level. And yeah, so follow along. Don't worry, everything's asked in the chat, troubleshoot, and let's go. So let's start. The map, what Avalanche actually is. So the Avalanche primary network, before we actually touch on tools, the map and all that, we need to start on the first level, and that is you need to understand what this is. So when I was talking, you've heard me talking about blockchain and all that. So blockchain is a shared ledger. What I mean by this is you have to imagine it like a notebook that computes like, it's a notebook that thousands of computers around the world, they keep identical copies of. So like you have this one notebook, and then there's thousands of computers, they have the same copy of that notebook. So anyone can literally read this notebook from where they are. Anyone can add a new line into this notebook, you see, following the rules that are set by that notebook, the rules outlined in that notebook. So that's basically it. But nobody, not me, not the bank, not the government, not Bill Gates, not whoever, no one, not even Avalanche themselves, can secretly erase or edit a line that has already been written. That's the whole trick of blockchain, you know. Everything else tonight is actually built on that one idea. It's like a record everyone can check and no one can quietly change. You see, because of the transparency. If you change, you're going to be seen. Like, there's that transparency. Okay, do you have something to say? Wasn't meeting. Okay. Yeah, so let's resume. So Avalanche is actually one of these systems, yeah. But now it is a very fast one, and it's actually organized into 3 specialized chains that are working together. And that is what you are seeing on the screen right now, which is the X chain, the P chain, and the C chain. So the X chain, in simpler terms, the X chain is what is handling the movement of the assets around. So think of it like a payment flow, you know. And then the P chain is the coordination flow, you see. So what it does, it mostly manages the validators, the computers that maintain that ledger, and coordinates all the other chains in the ecosystem. The C chain, now this is what now we are going to be handling mostly. So the C chain, C is standing for contracts. This is where the program now lives, the programs that are now running the ledger itself. So, and that is where we'll be doing most of our work here today. So yeah, let me just give you the full name. So X chain stands for exchange chain, P chain stands for the platform chain. Yeah, and the C chain, as I've said, now that stands for the contract chain. So if you remember, actually, one thing from this slide, it is this the C chain. This is where our code lives, and this is where we will be interacting with mostly. So, where builders start? One strategic point. Give me a sec. Yeah. One strategic point, because of your future clients will ask, you know, there are 2 ways to run on Avalanche. Number 1 is start on the C chain. So as I've said, the shared public chain is like you're basically opening like a shop in a busy mall. Are you getting this example? You know, if you open a shop in a busy mall, the infrastructure is already there. The infrastructure exists. Foot traffic exists because a lot of people are coming to this mall, you see. And you can actually open one. So fees after something that we had an upgrade recently, which you call the Octane upgrade. Now from this upgrade, it made what usually call the gas fees and these transaction fees to be relatively low. So think of gas fees as the small charges that you have to pay when you are making a transaction or when you're deploying something. The second way is scaling to your own L1. So that can be later, you know. What an L1 is, okay, let me say L1 is in full a layer 1. So an L1 is literally your own dedicated blockchain, your own validators, your own rules. It's like you're moving the mall into your own building. Are you getting me? And I'm not starting now to sound now deep. Don't worry, guys, just bear with me. So it's like you're literally moving this entire mall that you have with all these businesses and all that into your own building. that you have. So that's the simplest way that I can give it. So that's what a bank will eventually ask for. If you're building solutions, you're a developer here and you want to build solutions for banks and all that, this is what banks are going to ask for eventually, which is isolation, control, and speed and scalability. That is what banks and other sections of businesses actually ask for. So tonight, for this cohort, the C chain, which let's call it the mall now. Let's give the C chain, let's call the C chain now the mall. So for tonight's session, when I'm speaking, when you hear me talking about the mall, I'm addressing the C chain. So let's start. The environment checklist. So this is what you need to be having, you know. Yeah. So for a developer and for your development, this is your toolbox. This is basically what you need. So number one, your toolbox. Let me just explain what each and every of these tool that you actually see here, what they do and what they mean, you know, because names like, let me give a perfect example, like Foundry. They doesn't mean, like, it means nothing until someone actually tells you what it means, right? So let me start with the first one, Node.js, Git, and this VS Code. So this is the base layer of your modern development that you usually do nowadays, blockchain or not. I know for developers here, you're conversant with Node.js, you're conversant with Git, you're conversant with VS Code. VS Code is like your IDE. So if you prefer Casa, you can go to Casa. If you prefer Remix, but Remix is mostly an IDE for contracts writing, you know. Yeah. So Foundry, Foundry, we have Foundry, you have had that and all that. So for Foundry, Foundry is actually a toolkit for smart contract development. So basically what it does, it compiles your contracts, and then it tests it, and then it ships it now to blockchain. Actually prefer Foundry. Yeah. But you have other developers actually prefer something else, you know. Hard Hat is actually the alternative toolkit, you know. So basically, the good thing about Hard Hat, it's actually JavaScript based. So if you love JavaScript, if you're conversant with JavaScript, if you're a fan of JavaScript, you're going to love Hard Hat then, because this is basically, like, it is literally like JavaScript based. And both of the handbooks, you know, tonight, for tonight, I think Silas is going to take you through Foundry. Silas, can you confirm? Will you be using Foundry or Hard Hat for tonight?
Yes, indeed. I'll be using Foundry.
Yes. Don't worry, guys. If you want a video for Hard Hat, gladly do it for you guys. Yeah. So choose your toolkit. So I've already talked about this. So let's move now to the next. The Avalanche CLI. So the Avalanche CLI, when using this, what it stands for, it stands for Avalanche on command line toolkit. So tonight is just like a sanity check. Like, I just want you guys to know it behind your brain, that you also have the Avalanche CLI. So basically, what it does, it actually does the heavier lifting in everything. So yeah, I think I'm done with that. I want to take you through, yeah. So we can now move to the core wallet. So this is now we've come to another section whereby it's all about identity and practice money, whereby we'll be now talking about the core wallet, how to create the core wallet, how to get the testnets and all that. But before that, let me see by reactions here if we are following together, if you're all together or not. If you're following through, let me see a thumbs up. If you're lost, let me see a thumbs down. If you're lost, if you're left behind, let me see a thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down. No one. Nice. Okay, Regina, where are you lost? Where have we left you behind? Do you have any question? Feel free to unmute, Regina. Okay, feel free to drop then your question in the chat. So, let's move to the next session. The next session is, as I've said, it's about what you call now the identity and the practice now on how to get to know the testness and all that. So, let me share a new tab. So as I can show, I can give you guys a live demo what it is. So the core wallet. What is okay? Let me do this. Share entire screen. Okay, so the core wallet code is up. Here we go. So the core wallet, this is basically what we'll be using. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Kindly be on mute. Okay. So the core wallet. So this is a new concept, it's the one to get right. You want to get a wallet and all that. So forget the physical wallet image that you have for a second. So blockchain wallet, by what I mean is it is closer to like your identity. It's actually your identity and your signature on chain. So it's like a pair. It's actually a pair of keys. Like it's a public one, which is now your address, which normally starts with 0x, and it actually works like your account. It works like your account number. Think of it like your account number. You share it freely. You share it freely with people if you want to receive money and all that. So how do you actually create your wallet? So for you to create your wallet, head over to core.app. You can actually download this. As an extension, or you can download it as an extension or as an app on your mobile devices. I've dropped the link in the chat. I'm new to coding, so I don't understand any tools. You just manually teach step by step. Yes, don't worry. We are going to come back to that during the hands-on session. Okay, so here we are. Let's use the desktop mode. So if you want to get started on your mobile, let me disconnect my wallet. Oh, it is. I hope I don't make a fuss about this. Oh, let me go to another browser. Meanwhile, as I'm doing this, let me see if you have any questions. Let me check another tab. Since I already got my wallet connected. Okay, here we are. So, once you click on the link that I've sent, you want now to get started. If you click on Connect Wallet and you actually don't have a wallet, so if you are on your browser, you need to first download the extension. So, to download the extension, you need to come over. Just scroll down and then you'll see here download the Chrome extension or download it on mobile phone or App Store. So once you have the extension, let me just open my extension here. As you can see, I don't have a wallet address here. So there are different ways to get started. So Core, they actually have a new functionality which is called the seedless sign-in, whereby you can basically create an account by continuing with Google or continuing with Apple. But if you want to manually create a new wallet, you can basically click on manually create a new wallet. So for me, for purpose of the demo, let me just hit continue with Google, and as you can see, it's asking for my two-factor verification. Let me just manually create a wallet. Manually create a wallet, and then I get these phrases. Then I have to add them somewhere. So let me just do this very fast. Don't worry, I'll actually destroy this wallet. I'll deactivate it when I'm done, because I know most of you have actually seen the seed phrase already. The phrases. This is taking long. Okay. So I have copied those there. So select your recovery phrase. Select all that comes after string. Where is it? Boost, list, debate. Mountain, wagon. So, and just like that, you can name it, let me name it test. Just like that, you have created your wallet address. So Let me just come back here to the meeting. So with that, now you have your wallet address already created and connected. Now next, how do you get um the testnets? So for you to get the testnet, you need now to create your builders hub profile. Lavender is going to drop the link to where you're going to drop a link to where you are going to create your builders hub account. But let me use this. Okay, looks like there's an issue with that browser. Yeah. So Lavender has dropped the link to where you're going to create your builders hub account. So basically, just click on that link. Can you see my screen? Run away. My device.
Yes, you can.
You can see the screen, but it's loading.
Okay, what about now?
Yes, you
Nice.
can see.
So once you are on your builder hub, you can head over. Let me just sign out from this. So once you've clicked on that link, you'll be redirected now to the builders hub. This is where all content, all documentation relating to building on Avalanche, the ecosystem map, and all that are all located. So how do you create your account? You come over to your top right section, and as you can see, there's also this interface. So you can decide to continue with an email or continue with Google. So for me, let me continue with Google and then select my account. Select my account. And just like that, I am logged into my account. So I now want to receive now testnets to my wallet address. This is my wallet address that I've connected. Let me just load it very fast. So how do you do that? Let me enter my again very fast. So once you are logged into your builders hub, you'll need to now navigate. You now need to navigate. I'm going to share the link to it, to where you're going to get the testnets for set. Testnet. So it's supposed to be somewhere here. Developer tools. Attention, developer tools. Let me just share the link in the chat for you guys. So as you can get to fundamentals, then testnet token, claim testnet tokens. So let me just repeat that process again. So once you're here on your builders hub, you can come over to the Avalanche Academy. This is where you can get like the coursework, the overview and understanding about the Avalanche ecosystem. On the first course, the Avalanche fundamentals, there's a section whereby there's a section whereby you can claim testnets. So once you're there, let me just share this link here. But there's another tab whereby you can actually get it. So once you're here, you need to connect your wallet. So since I'm already logged into my profile, I think my wallet is already connected. I need to switch to testnet. So once I click on that, it's going to take me to my connected wallet and then asking me to switch to testnet mode. So once I have verified that, okay, we just check it very quickly. Okay, I'm on testnet mode. Just try again. Okay, yeah. So once you've connected your wallet, you're going to get this mall interface. So since we are building on the C chain, you're going to click on request tokens. Once you click on request tokens, 0.5 Avax is going to be sent to your wallet. So I think it's already sent to my wallet. Let me just head over there. As you can see, it's ready. So as you can see, I now have 0.5 Avax on my C chain, 0.5913. I think I had like 0.09 or something before. But yeah. So that is how you claim your testnet faucets. So yeah, I think maybe we can give you guys like a short time, like a break. You go grab water or something, and then we resume to the next session.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much, Joseph, for that great onboarding session. I hope now everybody knows how to claim their testnets so that as you start to build, you will not get stuck and do not wonder where to get testnets or get confused along the way. So this is a very, very important onboarding step because it gets to familiarize yourself as you're getting to understand the ecosystem, understand where to get information, and how to just navigate through the platform basically. So quickly, could just like take some water break, 1 minute, and then we're coming right back into it, where Silas is going to take us into the next step, where tonight you're going to build your first smart contract and see how that deployment actually goes. All right, so 1 minute, and then we are gonna continue. Silas, if you're on the call, you can just do a mic check for us.
Yeah, hi everyone. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, loud and clear. Okay, I see Mwangi, you have raised your hand. Is there a question you have? Okay, you're good. Okay, cool. Perfect. A few bonus seconds before we dive right into it, and Silas, let us know whenever you are ready.
Yeah, I am ready, I think. I'm ready to start anytime.
Awesome. Let's go.
Wonderful. So, hi everyone. My name is Silas. I will be taking you through this hands-on session where you're going to build your first smart contract. Really, it might be your first smart contract, or it might be your first experience writing gamified experience smart contract. So depending on what level you're coming in at, your first experience always matters, and it can be different for some people. So I think I'll first start by sharing this message here so that I don't forget. So I've had some of the question in the chat, which are I'm sorry, so I should also share this one. Like some of you are new to blockchain or like are new to development, and I would really like to urge you guys to check out the first link and this one which I have sent again. So the first one is a free updraft, and the following one is Avalanche Academy. So these two links are going to teach you a lot when it comes to not just only software development, but also Web3 development. So if this is your first time uh, doing any technical session, maybe like this is your first session or like among your first few sessions you're doing for development, uh, some of the things might sound like foreign, but trust me, if we meet you in 2 weeks' time, if you've gone through the materials, the first link and the Avalanche Academy link, at least uh, 8 hours a week or 10 hours a week, in 2 weeks you'll have a lot of knowledge that will be able to help you continue, because these mm, cohorts or these mini hacks that we're doing that Avalanche is doing, they're not a one-time thing. So you don't have to do everything today. There's another one coming. There will be others by the end of the year. There will be another one probably could will next year. So you don't have to feel like you're being left out. You just have to make sure that you are learning something. So if this is the session and maybe you're feeling a bit intimidated to follow up or to ask question, which you shouldn't really, but if any of those words describe you, don't worry. Just take a sit back and just watch what is happening. It will come in handy when now you are learning on your own, and learning on your own and trying to relate what you saw or heard in the meeting is always a good thing. So a little bit about myself. So my name is Silas. I'm a software developer. Mostly I've been doing front end and specifically mobile development and Web3 development. And to me, I'm really intrigued by how UI has come so far in terms of blockchain. So blockchain in the past used to be the UI and the user experience used to be so hard, both on the developer side and on the user side. But over the years, people are perfecting it, and people are building really great looking applications that are very hard to differentiate them with their Web2 counterparts. And so that is something that in my end I'm trying to learn and to adapt, mostly around Web3 UI and the user experience and how you can build better looking application. And maybe just the last thing, the last two links that I've shared there, I think you can see that they start with Expressor Creators. So Expressor Creators is an app that I'm building. The app just allows content creators or part-time content creators to earn uh, crypto or earn fiat depending on their setting, based on the content that they post. So if you create content or you're a developer or in any other field that you have some content that you want either to share for free or you want to share in return to some money and know some people who can pay for the content, then Expressor is a platform that I'm building to address that particular kind of market. And so the links that I've shared there, obviously they are free resources and they are preparatory sessions and the slides for today's session, which are obviously for free. And also towards the end, I'll be taking you through the quest. I don't know if it's me or Lavender, but also the quest on that site. So you'll be able to see more about what I've built and be the judge of that. Anyway, that was a long rant. But anyway, hope most of you are still here. So I'll start by sharing my screen and hope that everyone can see my screen, because I think I can see it. Is that the case? Before I start.
Yes, we can see this.
Wonderful. Thank you. So a while back in the group, if you're in the Mini Hack group, I think I had posted this preparatory session link. And basically what it contains a PDF file. It contained a PDF file, which were the slides which were going to guide you on how to do the setup for today's session, so that you are not massively overdoing things, which I might be able to do like pretty quick compared to how on your end you might be doing it. So this was the material that I shared. Maybe let me go back and open it again. So this was the material that I shared, and I was hoping that I would get some feedback from like the group, maybe asking question about it, but no one really asked anything about it. So I don't know the percentage of you that went through the materials, but anyway, I'll just be brief about what it was talking about before I go back to the main, to the main presentation, because it was just a brief session. So the main thing that we were talking about here in this introduction session was what Joseph was mentioned. So Joseph was mentioned about why gamification is important, and he also mentioned that, I believe, in the previous session. And the example I was mentioning here is Duolingo, and the advantage that having gamified solutions on Avalanche or on a blockchain can massively outweigh those on Web3. So again, if you visit the link, the first link, and get access to these slides, again, that will be very revealing to you. Again, this is just, I think, what Joseph has mentioned, and these were the technical requirements that you were required to have. So you needed to have VS Code with the Solidity extension installed. Solidity is the language that we write smart contract in. You needed to have Node.js installed if you are using Hardhat. You also needed to have either Hardhat or Foundry installed, and for all of them, I attached links to where you are going to find the installation instruction. You also had to have the Avalanche platform CLI, Git installed, and if you're running Windows at the moment as we're speaking, you had to have WSL. And then I went on about like setting up a local wallet, getting the private keys, and getting the addresses for that particular wallet. You will see this later. And then this was the project setup. So this was just a template that I had prepared for you guys. So I was hoping that you guys will come to this particular GitHub repository, and then you will read the README here, and the README will basically tell you how to start this particular project, or like how to go about it. So if you haven't, again, download the slide from the site, and I can also share this GitHub repository right here. I can share it here as we're continuing. And then it had two branches. So we had the main branch, which is incomplete, and then we had the complete branch, which had now the full code, which we are going to be writing in a few moments. You can see that it had everything there. So that was about the preparatory session that I had prepared for you guys. If you haven't, again, check out the link there. Yeah, so for today's session, I think I'll be starting at around here. So for context, let me first explain what the contract does. So for this part, imagine you don't know anything about contracts. You just know you have a business and you're trying to gamify it, right? Now, the reason why games are so addictive is okay, they're not so addictive. Like people, the reason why some like very popular games are like very addictive to play, or like very interesting to play, is that they always give you something to come back on, right? Like you cannot finish everything in a day. If you're a nerd, maybe, but like normally you can't finish everything in one day. So if you have a GTA game, maybe with 80 levels, you play 7 levels today, and then you unlock like a new residence in LA or in San Francisco, and then tomorrow maybe you watch a video and tells you when you reach level 14, maybe you have this and this and this, and like that. So it gives you an anticipation of something better to come. And that is the most important thing about gamification, especially when it comes to businesses. Because if you want to push retention and you want to use gamification as your main pillar, you need to give users anticipation of better rewards to come. right? So like you don't want user just to be opening your app and doing like maybe sending money, receiving money, and then that's the end. Because when they no longer need to send or receive money, or and they find a semi better option, or like an equivalent option of your app, which is maybe promoted to them by a friend or like a family, they will jump ship. So that's why you need gamified solution. So gamified solution, I want you to think of them as just a way to retain users, which in the end grows your businesses and also improve the user experience. So if the example I was giving you guys was something like a Duolingo. So if Duolingo is just about learning languages, I think when you mastered a few phrases on, or when you got tired of learning the language, you will just stop coming back. But they give you streaks, so like you don't want to break your streak. Like you don't want all the hard work you've put in up until now to seem like it was worthless. So the streak is what keeps you coming, and the streak is just one form of gamification. Today we are going to be talking about loyalty points. Now, any businesses, or most businesses, like they value their long-term customers, because these long-term customers are the ones who have been spending money in this institution, and also they are the ones who are likely or highly likely to recommend this institution to others, because they are always coming here, and your institution or your businesses might pop up in a conversation of theirs. And so loyalty points is a way of I believe most of you have heard of it. So it's just a way of, if you spend something or if you do something using this app or using these businesses, then you're given a certain amount of points. And then at a particular date in the future, you can be able to redeem these points for something, for some pack, for a voucher, for a coupon. It doesn't matter, but like these points have value in the future. Think of it like the way Safaricom does with I think it's called Bonga points, right? You buy credit, you're given like a point. Like you're not given the total amount of the credit you've bought, but you're given like a percentage of the point. So 10 bob credit is 1 point. Then at a particular point in the future, you can be able to redeem those points for credit. This gives you the hope that even in the future, when a day that I don't have money to buy credit, I might be able to use these points or these loyalty points. And that is just the essence of retention, like of gamification that earns you retention. And this example that I'm giving you of Safaricom is like the day when the day comes that you do not have credit, and maybe your Airtel line has money to buy credit, instead of you jumping ship to buy an Airtel credit card, you'll actually use your loyalty points that you have been garnering or gathering throughout your usage of the Safaricom line. And this is just like a few things that we're going to be talking about during this whole cohort of gamification. But today we are going to start with loyalty points. Wonderful. Now, to start us off, I think let me try and start from the very first stage, so that if anyone is working with me or like doing this session alongside me, you can be able to follow the steps. So number one, follow the link I've shared in the chat, which brings you to this particular repository. You can fork it, or like you can just click here and clone this particular application or this particular repo. For me, I'd advise you to fork it so that you have your own sample that you can tinker with. And then on your terminal, you're just going to run git clone, and then you paste the link that you have downloaded. So do this in a place where you want to do the development from. So for me, it's in the desktop developer web3 folder, also inside the samples. So after you've done that, the readme tells you you need to check out the main branch. So this is default done for you. When you clone a new repo, it's going to start from the main branch, so you don't need to do this. But it's important because remember I mentioned that we have two branches, main and complete. So we're going to be working on main today. Complete has the full code base. So if you feel like you need to reference something, just switch on to complete, reference, and then come back to main, continue writing the code. Now, these are some of the commands that we were talking about. So Foundry is just a tool, I think Joseph explained, that enables you to write smart contract application. Think of it as like a React web application written using JavaScript or TypeScript, which are eventually compiled into WebAssembly. But you need a framework to be able to help you is everything okay? Can everyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, I almost panicked there. Okay, I was saying Foundry is just a tool or a framework that helps you write smart contracts in an easy way, right? I was talking about React. So if you're a front-end developer, you know that most of the time you are building a front-end application, you're going to be using React. The code is still in JavaScript, yes, but you're using React or Node.js or Django or Spring Boot. It doesn't matter. Like, it's just a tool that helps you do a particular action. So don't really get caught up with it. Just try and learn the fundamentals of Solidity. And in fact, the link that I shared about on Cypher Updraft, it has like very good material. It walks you through Solidity first, then Foundry, and then you go into big Uniswap smart contracts. Now learning about now doing auditing. So auditing is a big thing in Web3. So like if you were to follow those two links, Avalanche Academy and the Cypher Updraft link, trust me, in 1 month time you'll be like ready to like actually ship production code, especially in this era where like AI has gotten so much better at coding than normal human beings. And that is assuming that you're starting from zero. If you're a developer in here already, then 2 weeks maximum. 2 weeks maximum. So run this command to install Foundry. I'm not going to do them because I did them, and I was hoping that for those who visited the preparatory material also did this. Now, the key thing that I'm going to at least help you with is this env file. So I'm going to go over to VS Code. So as soon as you have cloned, open your application in VS Code, and then the first thing you'll see is this env.example, right? So you're going to create a new file here, and you're going to call it .env, right? But for me, I'm not going to create it because it already exists. So environment variable are very important in your application. Not only should they remain secret, but they also allow you to make changes to your code base without really like redeploying your application. So like if you store key configuration files inside the env file, you won't have to like go to the code base to change them. You just have to update the env, which makes it very convenient. So in the env, you have 3 materials that you need to have. You need to have the Fuji RPC URL, which is already pre-filled, the Fuji RPC chain ID, and also the private key. I'm going to show you how to get this private key now. But if you've cloned this repo, check out env.example, copy paste its content, create a new file called .env, and paste them there. Wonderful. Now, it's time to get now the private key. Now, the private key is important because when we are deploying our contracts to Avalanche Fuji, we need to have gas fees. And one way that you have gas fees is you have a wallet that holds AVAX tokens, right? So you need to have those. So a private key is the control of a wallet that has tokens. So Joseph has showed you a way to create Core Wallet. So Core Wallet is a web-based wallet, but for us, we're going to be creating a terminal-based wallet because I feel like that is easier to operate with, especially in a dev environment. I'm sorry I'm going over through a lot of setup things, but don't worry. The contract itself is very brief. So like we won't even spend like 10 minutes there. And Solidity is an easier-ish language, so we won't spend a lot of time there. This setup is actually what is very important because this setup is the one you're going to be using for development of production application in the foreseeable future until maybe you learn like a new paradigm or a better paradigm. So number one thing you're going to do is you're going to install the Avalanche CLI. So again, that presentation that I shared with you first has the links to all of this. But for me, I'm just going to type Avalanche CLI install. Google it. You're going to mostly find it inside the Builders Hub. And here is the tutorial on how to install Avalanche CLI. So I'm going also to share this link with you. The ID that I'm using is VS Code. It's VS Code. It's Visual Studio, but I think I've edited it a bit so that it doesn't seem the way other VS Code seems, but it's actually VS Code. Yeah, I think this was the old UI for Casa. I really loved it, so I decided if VS Code can be also look like us, I think that will be nice. So it's VS Code. Wonderful. Now, when you follow that guide that I've shared with you guys, is there any other question? Okay, nice. So when you follow that guide, it will tell you how to export it to your path and basically just copy paste commands as they are on that site. For me, I already have. And the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to create a wallet. So we're going to say Avalanche key generate. Avalanche keys. I think it was terminal commands are so hard. Let me cross check these and Avalanche key create, not key generate. Avalanche key create, and then you're going to give it a name. So for me, I'm going to name it gaming 2. So this is the because I already used gaming 1. This is the name that I'm going with. So I'm going to create a key called gaming 2, and then to get the private key for this account or wallet that I've created, I'm going to say Avalanche key export gaming 2, right? So Avalanche key export gaming 2, the key that I've created. So this is the private key. So I'm going to check this private key. I'm going to go into my VS Code. Again, similar to Joseph, I'm going to delete this account. So don't try and steal the private key. And for those of you who are following along, never allow this key to leak, even if it's Fuji, even if you're doing it locally. Never allow it to leak, because this same private key for Fuji is the same one for C chain. So you might say, I was just using it for development. Then one day you forget and send 1,000 AVAX here, and then like they all vanish. Because I was doing development the other day and I realized this the hard way. People just put scripts 100%, running 100% of the time. So I think one of my wallet got exposed. And then the moment I deposited AVAX, I wanted to deploy a smart contract of my own. The moment I deposited mainnet AVAX, they were cleaned from the account. Luckily, they were not much, but like, yeah, never expose it. So if you expose it, delete it. Move funds outside and delete it, even if it's food. So wonderful. Now, after you have had your private key here, the next thing that is important is that we now need AVAX tokens into this account so that when eventually we deploy the smart contract, we have the gas. So for you to get the address of your locally created wallet or key, you're going to say Avalanche key, and I think it was list, yeah, Avalanche key list. So I'm going to say Fuji testnet because that's where I want funds on. And then it loads briefly because it's using an RPC URL to fetch this particular information. And then you'll see that I have gaming 2, and this is my C chain address, and this is my balance. So you remember Joseph told you that we're going to be doing development on the C chain. C chain is the smart contract chain for Avalanche. So this is where all of your smart contracts are going to be deployed to. Wonderful. Now I'm going to go back to the browser. And by now, I think most of you have created co-wallet, right? Is that the case? Because using this faucet, Joseph has been able to show you how to get the faucet, right? Now for us, the faucet is okay if it's in AVAX, right? If it's in the core wallet, but for us, we also need it in our local environment so that we can be able to play around with it. So I'm going to switch to testnet, and I'm going to see that for me, I already have some AVAX here. If you don't have, make sure that you follow the process that create a core wallet, connect it to a Builders Hub account, and get the faucet. You'll get a balance here, and then send them to your local address. So for me, I'm just going to say send 50%, and then I'm going to copy paste my address that I've gotten from this command here, cchain. Make sure it's cchain. And then we're going to send it. So the setup is usually like really important, guys, because you don't want to mess anything in this setup. So I'll clear here, and then I'll run key list again, Fuji testnet. And this will be the last thing we're doing. So we're going to be getting into the smart contract soon enough. Make sure I have power, 5%. So by now I'm hoping that I have the funds. So Gaming 2, yeah, Gaming 2 has now AVAX to deploy smart contract. And actually, to your surprising or not, like it's very cheap to deploy smart contracts using Avalanche. So if you have $1, you can deploy like multiple smart contracts, obviously depending on their sizes, but reasonable smart contracts, you can deploy them with $1 can deploy multiple smart contracts. Anyway, enough ranting. So is there anyone who is stuck anywhere or feels like I should explain any of the concept I've just gone through? Yeah, Daniel says he's also robbed of his smart contracts. Yes, Junior, please go ahead.
Hi, I was asking this the key which is being generated in the Avalanche CLI.
Yes.
It has a different address than the one you have in core.
Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, that is it. So the reason why I opted to go for this option is that when you cannot, I did not find an option to directly export my private key from core wallet. So it was a bit cumbersome. So I decided, let me show you guys a way in which you can create a local wallet that is available in your, okay, Joseph has something to say, but like if you, just a moment, Joseph, that is available in your laptop that you can easily use and dispose, because deleting a whole core wallet might be difficult. But Joseph, please go ahead.
Okay, to solve that issue, if you want to get access to your private key, don't use the seedless signing for you to get the when you're creating your account on Core Wallet. If you want to have access to your private key, if you know that you're going to use that account for development purposes and also to receive money, it's safe, it's best to actually manually create your profile. When you manually create your profile, you'll get access to your private key via the interface. Yeah, you can just go click on your account and then you'll be able to see the section for private key.
Okay, nice. So, Junior, the wallets are not the same. So in your core wallet, they're not the same. But if you can follow Joseph's guideline on how to get your private key from core wallet, the better. Basically, what I need here is just a private key that has funds. So wherever you get it from, it doesn't matter. It can be MetaMask, it can be Avalanche CLI, it can be core wallet. It doesn't matter, as long as that particular address has access to AVAX tokens. That is all that matters. And that's why it's so dangerous, because if someone just has this piece of string, they can be able to like clear your account of all the funds. So, and be able to import them elsewhere. So yeah, that's why it's so dangerous. I saw there was someone else with a question. Yes, Backen?
Okay, I was asking, nimemiss out kitu kidogo. Was the meeting recorded?
Yes, the meeting is being recorded and the link will be shared after the session.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful. Now, let's quickly move on to the writing the smart contract part, which is like a very short piece. So in any loyalty program, you need to be able to, for the users, at least they need to be able to do two things, right? They need to be able to earn points and they need to be able to redeem points. And also you need to have like other utility functions, such as getting the balance of this particular user. So if you have a dashboard, you need to show them that, hey, you have this number of points. You can either redeem them, or like if you want to earn the points, you can either click this button or buy this particular substance to earn points. So those are the main things that we're going to be looking at. So thing number one, we need to get the owner, like who is the owner of this particular contract, or like what is the business owner, like who is in charge of conducting the whole process, or like who is in charge of monitoring the whole process. And that is going to start by an variable called address public. I'm going to call it issuer. So in Solidity, address is a type. So just think of it like a string, an int, a boolean, or any other primitive type. So address is a primitive type in Solidity. And what it allows you to do is that it allows you to store addresses. So user addresses, smart contract addresses, any address on the blockchain, it allows you to store it. And basically what an address is in a blockchain is just an identifier, an ID for a particular contract, a particular user, etc., etc. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is you're going to declare a constructor, right? And this constructor is going to set the issuer to message.sender. So again, constructors, just like in many other languages, a constructor is called when a contract is first initialized. So if you have a class, the moment you're initializing the class, maybe class student, the thing that will be called first before anything else is the constructor. So if you're coming from OOP languages, I think this will be familiar. For those who are dealing with functional languages, think of it just like the moment you say you call these loyalty points, the first thing that will happen, the very first thing, is whatever code is inside the constructor. And in this case, we are setting the issuer to the message.sender. Why is this important? Because the message.sender is a global variable which represents a person sending a particular transaction. So the person who is calling the loyalty points for the very first time, remember his code will run inside the constructor. That person, we want to set them as the issuer. And this is important because it is us who will be deploying the contract. So we want to be the issuer of these particular loyalty points. So assume like this is Safaricom creating the contract. So address public issue is equal to Safaricom, and we're saying the moment we spin up this Bonga point contract, we want to say that Safaricom is the owner and all the rights are reserved for Safaricom, because you might find that you might get an abuse. Somebody is trying to abuse your loyalty points, which happens a lot, and you must now reserve the right to like clear their points or like issue a warning to them or whatever legal action you might take. So that is basically what a constructor does. The next thing we're going to do is you're going to create something called a mapping. So let me just type this so that I can be able to explain it to you in a few moments. And I think Copilot is right, but I think this one will be called balances. So a mapping is a key value pair in Solidity. So A mapping is also like a primitive type, or okay, is it a primitive? I'm not sure, but a mapping, think of it like an object in JavaScript or a map in Go. I don't know what is called in Java or like in the other languages, but those are the two languages that I know. And a mapping is basically that. It stores a key and a value. So, and the good thing about it is that you can look up values based on their keys. So just like an object. And in this sense, we are creating a mapping called balances. It's public and it maps an address and identifier, which I told you before, to uint 256. Uint 256 is another primitive type in Solidity, and basically it's just an integer with the 256. I think it's bits or bytes. 256 bytes. So this is probably the largest integer you can create. So we are storing the point balances of the user. So we need a global variable where we know who has how many points out of all our customers. Joseph has this number of points, Junior has this number of points, Silas has this, etc., etc. So a mapping is just a key value pair. The next thing you're going to create is just we're going to create a normal variable, which is also a uint 256. It's going to be public and it's going to be total supply. So I think by now you're getting the flow of how Solidity works. So you start by the type, then the access modifier, and then the variable name. So this is just going to be telling us how much loyalty points are in circulation as of now. Basically just something for statistics that you post on your business's social accounts to show your reach, etc., etc. For example, if Safaricom said they have like 100 billion points, bonga points in circulation, it's a huge number, right? So it might be used for marketing, it might be used for analytics, depending on how you strategize it. We also have another variable called total redeemed. So you need to also track, it's optional, but you need also to track the number of points that have been redeemed, because later on you're going to be writing a function to redeem the points, right? And the user can only redeem their number of points like that they have. So we don't want to go into the negative. So we also need to keep track of this. And we're going now to look at something called events. For those of you who are here in the payment section, I think you remember events. So I'm just going to accept this too, and then explain them. So an event in blockchain is like a side effect, or like it explains what has happened. It's like a log. So if a particular thing happens, then an event fires, the event can be able to communicate to whoever who is listening to that particular channel what thing happened. So for us, we have two things. We have point issued and points redeemed. So every time we issue a point, we need to like log that particular event. And because the blockchain is immutable, this point will be forever stored on the blockchain. So if a user comes today and says, on 23rd January, I had 12 points. Today I have 10 points and I've not redeemed any. We can be able to follow the blockchain activity and know whether he or she is lying or telling the truth, because the blockchain never lies. So you declare the type. You say the event is going to be called point issued. It's going to emit, the first thing it's going to emit is an address which is indexed, and it's going to be 2. The name is going to be 2, like the variable name, and then you're also going to log the amount. So the indexed key here just means that we can be able to search for an event using this address, which is just like a utility or a convenience, or a convenience thing that we have that we can do. It cannot be indexed as well, like nothing will happen, but it's good to have it as indexed. Same to points redeemed. We want to know where the points came from and like the amount. Wonderful. Now let's write our first function. So our first function is going to be called, but before that, before I forget, I think I need to talk about modifiers. So in the event that we want to issue points, right? Like we want to issue points, but because smart contracts are public, we don't want anyone to call this function to issue points, because it is reserved for the issuer alone, right? And the way we do that is that we create a modifier, right? And we call it only issuer. Then this modifier just has the same body as a function, but inside here it has a require statement. And what the require statement does, if I can spell that right, it requires that the message.sender, remember the person who is calling this function, must be equal to the issuer, the person who deployed this, the person who deployed this particular smart contract. Else, we are going to say only the issuer can perform this action. Maybe it can be only the issuer can issue points, right? More descriptive. The more descriptive, the better. Only the issuer can issue points. So this is going to be an only issuer modifier. And what that is going to help us with, it's going to help us when we write the function to issue points. So when we write the function to, if I can get this right, earn points, it's obviously going to take some parameters. The first parameter is going to be like, who do you want to issue these points to? The next, maybe you can call this customer. Yeah, so that it makes much more sense. Customer, so the customer who we are issuing these points to, we're going to also say like you are in 256, which is the amount, like how much points are we going to issue this particular user? And we're going to use a string call data called reason. Let me just finish this up, then I explain this. This is going to be an external and only issuer method, right? So what this function is doing here, it's saying, let me just clear this. What this function is saying is that endpoints is taking an address of a customer, it's taking an amount, it's taking a string reason, which is basically saying why is this customer earning this particular point. It's external so that it can be called from anywhere, and also it's only issuer so that only the person who deployed this particular loyalty smart contract can be able to issue points, right? And so we do one require statement. So a require statement in Solidity is like an assert statement. Like we assert that the amount is greater than 0. If not, we say amount must be greater than 0. Simple as. And then if that is okay, at least 1 point is being awarded to the customer. We use now remember we had a mapping, a key value pair. So we say in the balances object or in the balances map, get for me the customer. So the customer who should receive this particular point, his or her address is in the parameters. And we are saying add to their existing amount, the amount that is being passed here. Also add to the total supply because we have just created new points, and then emit an event so that this action is forever logged in the blockchain, right? I think that's simple enough. I don't think I have to explain anything else here. And then we're going to write a function to redeem the points, right? Now this is the user spending the points. Now it's been 2 years, you have been buying credit, and now it's your time to feast, right? So we are going to write a redeem function, and the address, we need the address of the customer. We also need the UINT 256 amount. Yeah, we need the amount. And also we need string call data reason. So you can imagine this as like the user is redeeming their points to get a coupon for Uber. So they have loyalty points on Duolingo, and then they're redeeming them to get a coupon for Uber. Maybe Duolingo and Uber have that particular relationship, or like they're redeeming it to get a free cup of coffee, or like to get credit in the example of Safaricom. So redeem points is actually like a very simple function also, we are going to require that the amount, let me take this because I think Copilot is right. We're going to require that the amount is greater than 0 so that you cannot redeem anything less than 0 or equal to 0. We're also going to require that you have at least the amount that you're trying to redeem. So this requires statement, again, this first place here evaluates to a Boolean. So if this is false, or if this is false, then this is being returned immediately. So basically what require does is that it will cause the smart contract function to revert, or like not to continue, to exit. So whenever you see require and the statement inside here is false, then know that the function call will end from here. It's like an if statement. Yeah, it's like a cool if statement. Also, again, we're also going to require that again the balances of the customer. So the mapping here of the customer who we've just passed in as a parameter is greater or equal to the amount that they're trying to take out. Else we revert with insufficient point balance. If everything is cool up to then, we subtract the amount from their total balances. We add that particular amount that is being redeemed to the total redeemed, and then we emit an event. Right? Basically, that they almost have the same signatures. These two functions. Right now, to the final function, which is just basically a function to get the balances, which I think I'll just take from here. So get balances takes the address of a customer. It's an external function. I've explained that. It's a view function. This is the first time you're coming across a view modifier. A view modifier basically means this function does not need gas because it does not perform any computation on the blockchain. It just watches the blockchain and returns something. So view functions are free, most of them at least. Then, unlike the two other functions, it's going to return a U256. So returned items from solidity functions are usually in form of tuples. So if you've worked with Go, I think this is familiar. So you can return multiple values from a function. But for now, we're just going to be returning a U256, which is the balance of the customer. And it's important to make sure that the return type is the same as the value type for that particular mapping. Because if you had like if this was like let's say U64, then these other functions will complain because the type do not match. So you need to make sure that you're observing type safety, because Solidity is also like a type safe language. And so basically that is a loyalty smart contract. The other one seemed a little big because it had like a lot of comments to try and explain to you whatever is going on in each of these functions. But I think I've done that by word of mouth. So, and that is basically it. That is the smart contract itself. Is there any question before we deploy this and we call it a night? I don't want to take a lot of time. Is there any other question?
Silas?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, there's a link that has been sent in the chats. So once you click on that link, we need you guys to fill that tally form with your GitHub username. So for when you'll be testing out, writing these smart contracts and all that, we'll all be doing it within the GitHub organization that we have for Avalanche. So, and for that, we need to send you guys the invitations to join the cohort through GitHub. So kindly, let's take this time, all that 6 of us, kindly click on that link. It's the last link shared here in the messages. Fill in with your GitHub username. If you don't have a GitHub, kindly create one. And then by the end of the night, you are going to receive a GitHub invitation to join the GitHub. Yeah. And also, this code will also be available in that organization. Yeah. That's all from me.
Okay, nice. Thank you. So is there any other question, guys? So that it don't take much of your time, because these other programs that are, need to go on. Anyway, okay. So there is none. I hope like it wasn't traumatizing. I hope it was like it was a bit simple, but don't worry. Joseph will also share like a GitHub repo for like everything that is here, so that you can be able to redo it again in your own time, in your own pace. This is just like maybe like watching a movie, just to see what you will do when you get to a particular point in time. So deploying, because some of the quests require that you give us this, which I'll explain in a few. So again, from the GitHub repo, which will be shared to you, you basically just copy paste these commands that are here, right? And I hope that the naming remained consistent. Otherwise, I might have done some damages here. But anyway, let me try and run this command. So what this command does is just it sources the env, brings the variables of the env that we pasted earlier to memory, so that they can be able to be referenced by the Forge script. And then you're going to, I think I'll use this one, because there are two options. You can either deploy with Forge create or Forge script. So the first one, using Forge create, basically you load the variables into memory, you reference them here, the private key, the Avalanche key, and then because the RPC URL is for Fuji, you don't need to specify the chain ID. So when you run this, I think I did not update my env, so I updated in the example instead of here. So let me just do this again. Wonderful. So if you cannot see my screen, let me expand it a little bit so that you can be able to see the commands that I'm running. So just copy paste it from GitHub. What am I doing? Copy paste it from GitHub and run that particular command. So this is a socket error. Don't know what is happening. Let me try and use the script instead, because that one is misbehaving. Okay, so I don't know what's happening here. I don't know if it's a VS Code thing. Let me try and like run it from the other one. I don't know if anyone has been able to run it. Anyone who was following the session and has been able to like deploy, because it seems to be like a problem here. Let me put this on here and check this one. Just confirm that I have env here. Yes, I do. And then, yeah, I think there's something wrong with one of my ports. I don't think I can be able to run the command. Yes, Dennis.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, when you were asking about the questions that we had, I
Yes.
I just thought of this. I saw that, you know, Mokeu, there was an app that they created,
Mm-hmm.
and
Proceed.
because blockchain is a good technology that you can use for, you know, verifying the chain of possession and transactions. Has
Yes.
anybody come up with or brought up something that can help to track like things like title deed possessions or something like that? That's serious.
But can be able to track.
Things like the title deed possessions. Like when I sell land, I can have that transaction recorded in the blockchain, such that it's something that's tamper-proof. Yeah, something like that. It's an idea that has been taken already.
No, there's nothing as such as like an idea that has been taken. Your execution and the execution of the competitor might differ, and that's why there's Samsung, there's Apple, there's Xiaomi, like none of them sat back and said, "Ah, Samsung are already making phones, so we won't do that. We will do other things." So that is something that people are actively trying to do. Like I think it's called tokenization of like real world assets into like the main into blockchain to make them tamper proof and to make them shareable, tokenizable. That is something that people are exploring to do. And if that is one of the routes you want to go, I'd urge you to like, yeah, like do that. Like don't right now it's too early to start looking at the competitor landscape and saying because someone is doing it, you won't be able to do it. Find a particular niche that you want to do, generalize it from a general idea, and then address a particular niche. Maybe it's land, maybe it's smartphones, maybe it's because a lot of things are being sold around, so it can be anything. Yes, Collins, I'm trying to work on
I do have a question. Let's say
Yes.
one has an idea, the original idea, but when you're developing something and you're in testing, you get another idea. Can one pivot to another idea?
Yes, always stay pivoting. If you have the confidence to abandon an idea, always pivot. Pivoting is not a bad thing. It only becomes a bad thing when it stops you from focusing. So like if you're always pivoting, you'll it's I don't know, like it's like sugar. Pivoting is like sugar. It is required, but too much of it is like it's not good because it will stall your progress. So pivot, but when you realize you're spiraling into a pivoting addiction, stop and focus on one thing. So, Dave, is there any other question? Because I think this is an OS specific error. It's not like the code error or anything. I think this is my OS. Maybe it has something occupied on that particular port and it cannot perform that action. But I'd urge you, when Joseph shares the link, everything is there on the repo, how to run, how to do everything. So you should be able to do that. And then I don't know if Lavender should also talk about the quest thing, or like we are using the one that you sent. I'm not
Yes, you can definitely take us through the Quest platform, and then I've dropped a tally link on the chat, which is very, very important that everybody actually gets to fill it out, and then we will be able to get your details. It has a few CTAs that needs your attention. We will be able to invite you to the GitHub organization and have your templates ready so that you can start to build and deploy and just get familiar with the ecosystem at large. So yeah, so maybe you can just like quickly take us through the quests that you've listed on Xpesa, and then after that, everybody can just like complete the tally quests as we wrap up the session. I think tonight's session has taken a little bit of some time, but it's all good. So we could just like finalize on that.
Yeah, let me be very quick. I think I started a bit late and I have explained things. But anyway, guys, follow the recording if you have time. Deploy the contract based on the repo readme. Just follow it step by step. You'll be able to do it. So I mentioned to you about like Xpesa. So Xpesa is like this site that I'm trying to like. I don't want to say found because I'm still like experimenting if this is something that people want to do or like they can be able to like find value in. And basically it's just a content monetization platform. So I explained about it earlier, but if you haven't, please come to this link. I think this link will be reshared. How does one debug a socket error? I don't know. I'll ask to ask ChatGPT about that one. The process that I follow is just to restart the machine because it frees up all the sockets or like the vital ones that have been taken up. Anyway, when you are here at Xpesa, and I've not earned all of this money. Most of this is like on Fuji. This is most of it is like on Fuji. I was testing it out, and I'm not planning to post any paid content for now. So most of these are just free. So come to this particular session here called Building Gamified Solution for it's trailed, but this one first, the first one here, you click it. And then here you'll be able to see the quest. So just a brief overview of this UI. Here is where you get the access. If you want to see the leaderboard for the quest, this is me who submitted it just to test the waters. If it was working, it was working. I hope it will continue working. But now, after you have deployed your smart contracts and you are ready to do this quest, preferably before Thursday, come and click get free access. So free access gives you a special token that eventually gives you access to today's materials. So just the slide that we have been going through and the code base that we have been going through, you can download it here, right? Or you can open it from here, depending on how you want to do it, right? Depending on how you want to do it, you can do that. Anyway, for me, I'm going to be like downloading it. I think I've downloaded it already. And then you'll see here, enter quest. So like this is going to be your entry into the quest. And remember, this is a competitive quest. So there's something for you when you top the leaderboard till the end of the cohort. So always be sure to be checking out this quest after every session. So you click enter quests, you choose your display name. I'm going to choose Dr. Doom for now because I already used Silas. So joining the leaderboard requires your name so that the name will be able to be displayed on the leaderboard score. So that's just a username. But here we need your real name because we need to be able to know who is completing the quest and how do we contact you if you have won the quest. So you'll click you'll enter your name, you'll enter your email. So I'm going to be using Silas.com because at one it's already gone. So you enter your email. I think that's how it's playing. Cloud. Yeah. Enter your email, and then the first quest is going to be Builders Hub. So I think you guys have been taken through how to create your Builders Hub account. So just come here to your profile. After creating your account, come here to your profile and then select here. This is your username. This is your Builders Hub username, I believe. So fill it in here. Click next. Why will you consider creating a custom L1 when building a gamified solution? I think at this point, Joseph talked about it. So enter your answer here and make sure your answer is reflective of what you had in the session. Otherwise, you lose the score. So Joseph talked about it. I'm not going to like put real answers because this is going to be deleted. And then the contract address of the contract that we have deployed. So for me, I'm just going to take like my username, but remember again, this needs to be like real because we'll cross-check it to make sure that you have done the correct thing. So I'm just going through it fast because we need to end the session. And then a transaction hash of a user claiming or redeeming the loyalty points. Again, in the README, there's a way in which you interact with the contract. So the function that we have written, redeeming points, earning points, kindly test them according to the documentation and provide a transaction hash here. You can provide one or you can provide two. The text area is extendable. Then hit click next, and then here you're going to be asked to tag all team one, so all the what do we call all the accounts that have been involved in like taking you through this session. So I think it's supposed to be here. I think it's not here because I did not add it, but before you guys do the quest, I'll make sure to add it. The accounts have been shared in the chat, so you can find like Team 1, Lavender Esther, Joseph, myself. I think there's also Ford Labs. So like there are quite a number. They will be shared to you. So create a beautiful post explaining what you learned about this session, like what you have gotten from it and what is your expectation, what solution do you want to build based on this session, and then basically just share here a link of that particular post. So I'm just going to put any link, but share a link that yeah, I posted, I tagged, I retweeted, and then you're going to paste it here, and it will be confirmed. And then you just click get score so that it confirms you have answered all seven questions or 7 quests, and then you click submit results. Now the cool thing about this is that you don't just get to walk away empty-handed, because we are talking about gamification and loyalty points, right? And you finishing this quest is a loyalty score to us or to Team One, and so we are going to award you an NFT. So you're going to create Connect Wallet. If you don't have your core wallet, or if you don't have any wallet, you can create one with Gmail. So when you just hit Connect Wallet, it will guide you from there. You don't have to worry about anything. Then after clicking Connect Wallet, you can be able to claim your NFT. So this NFT will be minted to you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I haven't added the contract address for this particular NFTs to my deployment environment, but I'm going to add it right now. So by the time you guys are testing this out, you'll be able to get a cool NFT, and I can show you how it looks like. I can show you. I think it was here. Snowtress. I think it was this one. Yeah. Let me show you how the NFT looks like. It's a cool NFT, just basically confirming your attendance for like today's session, which is like a good thing, right? Like you want to be identified for the things that you have done. So this, not this one. Let me try and find it. It was Snowtress. Oh, I don't remember where it was. Let me see. Yeah, I think I'll have to find it, but it's basically a similar NFT to this one. It's not this one. This one is just like for payment proof, which is also an NFT. When you buy something on Expressa, you are sent this. But like with this one here, you'll be able to mint a cool NFT. It will give you a link to view it on Snowtress. So I'll do that, and then you guys can be able to receive an NFT, and maybe at some point in the future can be able to say now, if you have a certain number of NFTs, or like you have a certain number of Expressa NFTs, then you are eligible to like get a gift card, maybe an Apple gift card or something that will be awarded to you in future. Anyways, thank you for attending the session. Remember to click the tally link that Lavender has shared, and we have reshared, because it's important that we get that particular piece of information from you guys. Anyways, happy coding, and yeah, hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Silas, for that very, very hands-on session. That has been a really good session for me to just do a refresher as well. So guys, we are actually waiting your submissions on Tally, because this is going to be very, very important before our next session. So as always, we are hosting these sessions every Tuesday and every Thursday at the same time, 8 p.m. East African time zone, and we welcome you to be present for both. We will also be having office hours in the course of the week. Excuse me, every Wednesday. We will communicate the time frames, but it starts at as early as 7 p.m. and it goes all the way, I think, it's until around 8, and then also with some extension provision if needed be. So we encourage you to be present, to actively engage. In case you have any questions, feel free to ask. We are active on Mini Hack chat on WhatsApp. So in case you're here and you're not part of the WhatsApp chat, please join the WhatsApp group, join the Telegram group as well, because we want to ensure that nobody gets left behind. I'll share the link to the WhatsApp again in case you missed it. So I've dropped the link again in case anybody missed it. Please go ahead and join the WhatsApp community as well as the Telegram. So tonight, usually we have polls, but tonight, seeing so many people have left already, I can imagine many of us are actually dozing off or tired already. So we might not have time to do polls today, even though we have them ready. But this is where we are requesting you to go and complete the quests, both on the ones that Silas has shared with us, where you will be able to earn some NFTs and also complete the tally few quests. It's just gonna take 1 minute, to be honest. And it should be good. Yeah, so these hours are tricky hours until World Cup ends. So I see Anthony says that they've gone for World Cup. Might be true, actually. So yes, let's take this moment to just like complete the different tasks that we have as we prepare for our next session. So our next session is gonna be this week on Thursday, 8 p.m. East African time zone. Feel free to join us. I've already sent you invites to your emails. So if you've not seen any invite from me, please double check on your email and accept it so that it can be added on your calendar, so that you may not get confused with what links to use for the next session. So everything is already uploaded on there. So go ahead and just accept the invite basically. So I think we can wrap up now. We could have our any questions or any concern or anything that anyone would like to ask before we wrap up the call.
It's just a reminder, kindly guys, let's fill the tally form before let's say tomorrow morning. Okay, let's say before tomorrow morning. By 10 a.m. you'll all receive your GitHub invitation. So you'll just check your GitHub, your email, and then you'll have your invitation, accept the invitation, and you'll get clear guide from there. And also the group photo. Don't forget the group photo.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say right now. So before we wrap up and go, I would love for you to turn on your camera so we could take a group photo, just a quick photo. We love to, include everybody in our community and just and put a face to it basically. So if you can turn on your cameras. And then I've dropped a very important link on the chat. And this link is actually leading to our X post that you have made. So this is an invitation for you to just go in and engage on there, give us some likes, some repost. It only takes a second, to be honest, and the support really goes a long way. So please go and support us. And this is also another opportunity to follow us if you've not followed us already. And turn on that notification button. All right, I see you, Anthony. Thank you for turning on your camera. Thank you, Joseph, as well. Thanks to me too. Yes, I see you, Brian. Shout out to you. Yes, the real MVPs. So I'll give you one more moment to just like turn on your camera. Yes, I see you, Ian. Shout out to you, Ian. Shout out to you, George. Shout out to you, Collins. Shout out to you, Newton. Yeah, at least we have a good quorum of people turning on their camera, which is good. So I'll just try and get the best for this. So I'll take I think Newton, I'm only seeing some. Okay, I think I'm not able to see you well, Daniel and Newton. Nice, now I can see you. All right, perfect. Okay, awesome. I see you, Aiden, as well. Nice. So I could just take a quick picture. So I will go in 3, 2, 1. Okay. I'll take another one just in case I didn't catch you well. I'll take another one in 3, 2, 1. Okay. And last one. Okay, I'll take a last picture. Okay, I've caught some of you unawares. I will delete that one and take another one. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for, being patient with us and, being present and your active participation. Appreciate you all. I can't wait to see where we actually go together from this cohort, and looking forward to many, many more sessions together and impactful sessions. And by the way, before we forget, we have upcoming Game Jam Nights of Code happening on the 24th of this month, July. And then you have another Gamers Connect happening 1st of August. This is in-person sessions. So as you're coming to these virtual sessions, just know that you're also planning for IRL sessions, because we'd love to connect with you in person. We will have plenty of snacks and coffee for you, so don't worry. And we will be sharing more information. So keep coming through the sessions, keep learning, keep pushing yourself. Eventually, we will get there all together. And then, of course, Mini Hack is happening in August. So if you're building now, you are already ahead of time. So keep building, don't give up. And we hope that you'll be able to actually ship these products and take them to market. That has been our time. Thank you very much. You will receive the recording links in your email. Yes, once you've accepted the invite and you have RSVP'd, I'm sure you'll be able to receive invites from me henceforth, so you must miss on anything. Okay, again, thanks to everybody, and shout out to you all. Super proud of you for this, for taking up this journey and this opportunity to just upskill yourself and take these projects to market. I hope that you find what you're looking for in this cohort, and I hope that you become the baddest developers out there. Other than that, I appreciate you all, and I wish you a good night, and yeah, God bless. Bye.